Yes, you're welcome back. It's still Good Morning Anambra, and we're looking at several issues this morning. Now, we want to look at development projects in our local government councils. Development projects, how far have we gone? Are we developing at that level of government at the grassroots level? Joining us this morning to look at that important issue is Professor Ifeanyi Ezako of Paul's University, Awka. Welcome, Prof.
Thank you, sir.
Also, Sir Ogezono, a community leader, join us as well to look at this part of the issue.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you here, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, like we said, we'll be looking at those issues that concern development projects at local government councils. How far have we gone? Has government at that level been able to perform at their optimum? How are age grades performing? Churches, women organizations, etc. are engaging to develop our communities. These are the issues we're going to look at this morning. So join us. Remember that our phone lines are still on your screen, so you can call in and join in the discussion. So let me start with Professor Ezako. How far have we gone? With your assessment of what is happening at that level of government and at that level of society, have we actually focused on development at those levels?
I still thank the government of Nigeria. I don't mean present government, but government of Nigeria from the time of independence, having 3 tiers of government, the federal, state, and local government. And then, newest is town union, which means it is a good separation of some activities, projects, and so on, down to the lowest level, so that everybody will now appreciate what is happening. But unfortunately, and fortunately also, some of these areas, the federal, the state, the local government, and then the town level, have not come to what people thought should be the case. That is, the local government, let me start from home, because people say, the town unions, which is the 4th, in many places, I give example with my town, Agolo. We develop our place. Much of the things you see in Agolo today are just done by the people themselves. That is local government, town union arrangements, projects, and so on. And we thank also the governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, His Excellency, for giving out 20 million naira to every town. No matter the town is populated just about 20 people. And another one is populated by 1 million people. It's just 20 million naira. And that is where everybody, the least person in the town, will now know how to utilize that money for the projects that will enhance the quality of life in the village or in the town. Then the state goes on further. I love this approach. That's why I said some time ago that this governor, Willie Obiano, should not just be called ordinary governor, but I gave him a name. I said it's Environmental Philosopher King. Environmental Philosopher King. By giving out 20 million naira to each town. Now for you to think out what is good. He has now done the best thing in this country.
Right.
So we are moving.
Thank you. We are still coming to that. Now, let's come to you. How will you assess the level of development in the local government, let's say, since independence?
Well, just like Prof said, there are steps in development, no doubt about that. Development is the level. The level of development in local government now is never how it was in the past. In the past, government may give out contract to contractors, and we find out that much of the fund for the contract will go to maybe the awardees, I don't know. And then before the contractor actually embarked on the project, he may not get enough resources to complete the job. And hence, then it took about revalidation and things like that. And that was why in the past, there were cases of abandoned projects because the money provided could not sponsor the project. But now, with the wisdom of our wonderful governors, starting from P2B and our present governor, P2B started it, he did his best, but Willie Obiano, the governor now, did the best, went a step better, in the sense that every community decides what they want. And then every community now would execute the project. If they want to use their people, better. If want to bring somebody outside, that is their concern. But this approach has worked so well, so much so that you go to rural areas that were formerly seen as backward communities, springing up. You see modern markets. You see boreholes. You see town halls. You see things that were not there before. Things that, there is development. It was not that before. A lot of improvement. And kudos to the governors of Anambra State. P2B then, but higher credit to our dear, ebullient, dynamic, foresighted, Willie Obiano.
Okay, this topic, we actually broaden it. We are looking at age grades, all the forms of government that bring development to communities.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask, do you think, has our people actually been enlightened enough to ask questions to become part of governance? Apart from these established systems, do you think our people are now part of what is happening in their localities?
Yeah, let me see. Let me tell you one thing. In the past, people had this attitude of it is government business, but the awareness is coming better now. I take, for instance, markets. Market is the responsibility of local governments. It is the responsibility of the communities to keep their markets clean. It is the responsibility of the local government to pay a little stipend that is paid to the local government in the market. Now, some communities, I come from Nobi, and I know that the women in the Nobi are called Inyom Nobi. Inyom Nobi, as a union, has a culture of dividing the sweeping of different parts of the market quarter by quarter, such that you go to the market anytime and you see the environment clean. That's number one. Number two, that is contribution from the women's side. Then we now expect that whoever brings something to the market would appreciate the effort of the government. But then what I hear is that some of these people who collect this money perhaps do not account well. And when they fear that they do not account well to the government, there was in the past this problem of people refusing to pay.
Okay, that's a no.
Yes.
Okay, let's move ahead. We know that Professor Ezako, that in some quarters people have been clamoring for the conduct of local government elections, saying that the non-existence of it has slowed down development. Why some other people said no, that all the projects that were carried out by the constituted local government authorities then were white elephant projects. There's no one that you can point at and say that this is what they have achieved. That some states that have not conducted local government election, the intervention of the state government by building and taking care of the things that the local government is supposed to do are now better than what it used to be. How will I assess that?
Yeah, well, that's right, in a way, because the state government wants the people within the state and outside the state to now assess their own states to be the best state. If everything is gone, one to local government, one for the state may not even participate in the development of rural areas.
Please,
yes.
before we continue, let's take this caller. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Nemeka, calling from Enugu.
Nemeka from Enugu. Go on. Let's hear your view this morning.
All right.
Enugu.
One of the panelists mentioned local government elections.
Okay.
So, we want to know if it is proper for a government to, insist on not conducting local government elections and even seizing funds allocated to local government for grassroots development, if it is, proper, or should we call it, corruption on the part of the government? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nemeka.
Yeah, Prof.
This is a type of thing. When we talk about corruption has stages or grades. But I said earlier that some state governments will not like their states not develop to attract many attentions. That if you give much bulk of money to the local government, they may not use the money. Reason, some of the members of the councillors there may not actually know what is their value within that particular local government. They cannot even know where they should put in project. I know there are many towns where the local government is already established officially. But you see, many things are depreciating. Minor gully erosions are springing up. There is dirtiness in the market, just as my friend is saying. Many markets are not clean. But if the local government authorities know that they are there for something, not to enrich their pocket. I know some of these councillors, immediately they get into the local government. They begin to build houses here and there.
Why is that mentality? Because I know that the law was set up, or the idea behind the local government system is to get government closer to people. Mm-hmm. And they have representatives, they know where they are living, where they wake up, where they go to buy something in the morning. Why is it that when these people get into government elected, it seems as if even the state apparatus, like you asked, to get things working at that level tends to be more workable than those local government systems?
One thing is this: many of the councillors or the chairmen of the local government have never called their villages they are representing. Come and let us discuss, which they now call town hall, town hall meetings. They have not. I know in my place, I've never heard of the councillor calling people to come and listen. What do you want? What am I doing? Am I messing you up or not? You should go back. We
started, Ogo, you started with the contribution of the women at the local government level. Yeah. Giving an example of the Inyom Nobi, that's what you call them.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, and I wonder why you started with the women anyway, but because I know there are age grades.
I'm in love with women. I respect women. In as much as I also honor men. The women are doing good.
I know that over time, sir, that age grades, their efforts in the development, local grassroots development, cannot be overemphasized.
It's true.
Are they still existing? And if they are, do they still contribute to the development of their communities?
Yes. No. Actually, in some organized communities, and let me just say that, the members of the age grade do great jobs. Okay? For instance, every last Saturday, when we use the opportunity of cleaning the area, you see many communities, many age grades organizing to get the youth out in the morning during the sanitation period to clear the gutters, to cut the grass along the road and things like that. Some of these communities still do that. Okay? But then I live in Opuno, Okochi Opuno here. And I know that many times the youths do that. Sometimes you see them during sanitation, they come and clean the environment and all those things. But that is not enough. There was something that happened in April, well, call it May, June. There is a new market that was set up in our Okochi village up more here. And beside that market is their town hall, the town hall that they chose, and they have built it. Then when rain started to come, I discovered that they were collecting sand from that road. Okay? And I discovered I'm a geographer. I'm a professional geographer. I read geography single honors before I went to study education and administration and research. Okay? Now, I stopped 3 times and told people, look at this channel. The runoff here will eventually lead to dangerous gully. Please, organize to stop excavating sand on the road, 1, and then try to get some sump or some collecting holes beside the road, so that to reduce the speed of the flood. You know, I was telling people, the 8th grade and some people living along the road there. Do you know what one of them told me? Okay, give us money. I am telling you what we do to help yourself in your community. Tell me, give you money.
But
I'm telling you, this is your house. I told them, this is your house.
May cave in,
is in danger.
I see.
Now go to Akuno now. I traveled to America. I was in Philadelphia, and they told me that what I said had happened. The flood had dug a very big ditch there, and that building I told them is at danger. It's only when government comes that we do. But if professional advice is given to them and they take it.
And it will go a long way. I know in my town, 8th grade, Professor, 8th grade members, they build town halls or village halls. They build classroom blocks. They do a lot of tangible projects. Is it like that in your town? Apart from clearing the roads.
I wanted to give an example, very typical example. The greatest rural urban town, Abreba. If you go to Abreba, hospitals, towers, there's a very big tower in Abreba town.
Apart from the Abia town.
This is Abreba town. By age grade, it's a very big competition there. What has your age grade done in the town to uplift the town? Abreba is the best throughout age grade. And then in my town, I had wanted it to be like that. But people did not see the wisdom in it. Have a very big competition. The competition we may have is a competition of a masquerade. So
now let's begin to ask this question, especially at those developmental projects that should be carried out by communities at community level, churches, age grade, women organizations. It seems over time, like we've pointed out, those things have failed. And said, or guys also mentioned the issue of demanding for money. I also had an experience like that. Now, how do we get there, or what happened that we left what should be our values to bring community development at communities, and what should we do to get back those things we've lost?
What we do is to get those youths, call them. I was addressing a group of youths some weeks ago. One of them asked me, please, sir, why not arrange a discussion with them during December? Then I told them I will invite some people to talk to them. What they can now do, not just living a life. You can go into poetry, you can go into it's projects. And then it will enhance the village. The low-level moral values in the villages will now decamp. People will now be seeing forwards something greater. And then,
coming from the village.
Yes.
But I know that we contribute a lot of money to the churches.
And then churches.
Is there anything church can do to help develop the community where they are?
Why not?
Apart from building the churches and then building fences and collecting money from us and all the rest of it.
Yes, actually, you see, the church is a very good agent of dissemination of information, not just gospel. You know, you see, when the leaders of our churches tell people, apart from the gospel according to what they have read on that particular day, you know, the need for cleanliness. They say cleanliness is next to godliness.
Godliness.
Okay? If the churches can, leaders of the churches could tell their people all these things, they will listen to them. For instance, look at the menace we suffer here. Whenever there is heavy downpour of water, of rain, okay? It is caused by people who go and dump refuge into the gutter. We go about telling them, ABS is doing a wonderful job. If in the churches, leaders tell them, please stop dumping refuse inside the gutter. These are the implications. When the flood comes, they cannot move smoothly. As they try to jump this refuse, they have... That's the thing.
The head of churches and the government.
I think he has a point. I could remember, I think early this year, late last year, when Deeper Life handed a flyover to Lagos State government. Those are one of the projects we're talking about.
Yes.
And
there's something.
Okay.
3 weeks
in 30
ago.
seconds.
Yes. 3 weeks ago. Milinezo, I was standing down Liberty. Liberty. Milinezo, flood. Now we had to get in somewhere. Now the woman, na gate be with take home. Take away. Nwani when you nyecha anyi ya. Oficha anyi ike. Ficha si anyi ike. Close the take away. Dump into the gutter.
You see, we'll round up at this point. So, guys, on a community leader for joining us this morning and airing your views, and Professor Ezako for Ifeanyi Ezako of Paul's University joining us this morning and airing your views. You can see with the last example he gave, it's not just about government; it's about what you should do in your own environment. IJ.
Very important. I know women build houses, halls and churches and a whole lot of things. So I think we are in the forefront of developing the community.
No, men sponsor women to do that.
Let's not go to that argument. Thank you very much.
We make donations.
Thank you very much.
But I praise women. Their doggedness in development is wonderful. Yes. But you do not downlook the effort.
Okay, yes, certainly, because we are done very hard this morning. Yeah. I'm still David Opokwase. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Good Morning Anambra.
My name is Sijoma Uche. A very good morning to you.